sewing and quilting friends, welcome back to the sewing room. It's getting near to Christmas. I'm recording this in the first week of December, and I don't know where the rest of the season has gone. It's just flown by. If you've watched me recently, you'll know that I'm making some Christmas quilts for various members of the family. So I'm now going into the final push to get them finished. I've got one completed, one very nearly completed, and the one I'm showing you today is the Penrose Quilt, which is for my oldest grandson who likes cars. So it is a car with a quilt with a sports car in the middle, and then my attempt to do Penrose quilting around the outside, which nearly ended in disaster. You'll be pleased to hear that I have now managed to free motion quilt it, and with some quite interesting results. And I'm going to also now be joining up all the leftovers of the fabrics I got. I got some end of rolls of this quilting fabric, glittery blue, that all matched the colours in the panel with the car in it. And I would want to use it all up and not have to really go back and buy more, because it was quite expensive fabric. So I'm now joining those all up to make all the leftovers, and I had some leftover blocks as well, and I've cut those up and I'm joining them all up to make the binding. So what you'll see me doing today is finishing off the top by making it square, and then free motion quilting it, making the quilt sandwich, free motion quilting it, and then binding and finishing it. So I hope you enjoy watching. Just wanted to say also, nearly forgot, that if you have recently subscribed, thank you very much. And if you are coming back, thank you very much. Means a huge amount, gives me encouragement to carry on. Thank you also for the really nice comments. I always say that's the best thing about YouTube, is interacting with people from all over the world, and I've had some lovely stories and lots of nice comments, and it means a huge amount, so thank you very much. Anyway, on with the project. So this is the 5th out of 5 videos for making this quilt. A bit of a marathon for it's a relatively small quilt. But the number 4 shows me assembling the various parts that I've made for the quilt, and that includes a panel of blocks that I made basically to make the quilt a bit longer, but also to use up some of the triangles that I cut that were incorrect to fit into the Penrose pattern. So here I am just joining those blocks together. So finally, all of the elements of the quilt are joined together. So there's the panel trimmed down with the sports car in the middle, and the Penrose quilting and the borders all around. I then set up my sewing machine to do free motion quilting. This is only the second time I've attempted it, and I don't actually find it very easy on this small machine, but it's the only machine I've got that had an affordable free motion quilting foot available for it. The single one was okay, but didn't fit on any of my machines. So I'm having to do it on the Husqvarna. took all of the scraps and cut them up into 2.5-inch strips to make a kind of patchwork binding. This was my part of my endeavour to make sure that I used a very last piece of this fabric and didn't really have to go and buy any more. It's not something that I would choose to use in a project, and I selected the colours of the quilting fabrics to match the colours in the panel that I purchased of the sports car. So I just sorted them out so that I didn't have too many colours of the same altogether. I also had some spare blocks and I put those up as well to make them into part of the binding. I attached the binding to the quilt, right sides together, using about a 1/2 inch seam allowance. If you are doing a quilt like this, depending on the thickness of the batting or polyester wadding that you're using, um, you might want to adjust the seam allowance you use so that you get enough of the binding showing on the correct side of the quilt. I tend to use 1/2 inch and then see what it looks like, and if not, I'll adjust it. Um, so I'll put a link in the description to another video, which is the fairy tale quilt, where I show how to do the binding in a lot of detail, and there's quite a lot of slow motion in it as well. But just showing you the process here. But as I say, in another video, there's a lot more detail. So here's the quilt finished. I've just pinned the binding in place on the wrong side of the fabric. I'm going to hand stitch that at my leisure in the run up to Christmas, but you can see how it's going to look. The free motion quilting that I did, as I say, this is the second time I've done it, and I don't think I'm going to win any quilting awards for it. But when I free motion quilted over the white parts, it did give the impression that there were sort of electric shocks coming out from the centre of the quilt, which I hadn't intended, but actually it's quite a good effect. And so overall, I'm quite pleased with how it looks. Thanks for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this process. If you've watched all 5 videos, give yourself a pat on the back because it has been a bit of a marathon. But I have finally finished it, and I'm hoping that my grandson is going to like his quilt.